Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel, the Xanadu Chronicles. My name is Frank and today I'm going to be working on a DIY project, and that project is this lampshade. So as you can see right now, there is no material on it, and we actually liked it like that. We thought it gave this brass mid-century column lamp a very modern look, and it worked perfectly in our old home in Seattle where we didn't have a lot of light inside. So obviously with no impediments we were able to get a lot of light in the room that we wanted it in. So here we have a lot of natural light, and although I do like this look, I decided that I want to have a little bit more color, a little bit more pattern in the room. So I'm going to do something I hope you're going to enjoy, and I think it's a little kind of innovative. And I came up with the idea, but I'm positive it's already out there in the interweb somewhere. I just haven't seen it. But as of right now, I'm sticking claim to this idea because it's kind of cool. So I'm going to take this off of here. I'm going to set up my workstation, walk through the supplies and what I'm going to do, and I'm going to start working on it. And hopefully at the end, I'll come up with a beautiful piece that you can recreate at home. So let's get started. Hey folks, so I'm here at my dining table with my lampshade, and I'm going to walk you through the supplies, walk you through what I'm thinking of doing, and show you just a little bit of a demonstration so you get a better idea. And then I'm going to get started and hopefully produce a masterpiece that you'll want to recreate like tomorrow. So let's get started. Obviously I've got my lampshade. Now this is just a thrift store lampshade that I bought years and years ago, and I bought it specifically for the size and shape to go with that brass column lamp that it's on. And it had a ratty fabric cover on it that I took off, but I could see even when I was buying it that it had a beautiful frame underneath, so that was one of the reasons why I bought it. But when I took off that fabric skin, this muslin wrap around the top and the bottom edges was there already, and I didn't do it myself. I decided to keep it because I thought it looked really cool. It added some contrast, and it kind of outlines the frame of it itself. So I thought it looked really great on the thing, and it adds some texture. So I'm not going to take it off. I'm going to leave it on because ultimately when you see what I'm doing, it will create what I hope to be, when the light is on, a dark banded edge that looks a little bit more finished along the top and the bottom, okay? So, lampshade. Next, ribbon. Lots and lots of ribbon. Now, I've got 4 colors here, but you could do this with one color. You can do this with multiple colors. You can do this with pattern ribbon. Whatever floats your boat. I chose these 4 because the color scheme works beautifully in my home, and I have what I deem a modern British colonial styled home. And if you haven't seen my renovation reveal, we renovated our home here down in Florida, and we did a full walkthrough, so I highly suggest you take a look at that so you can get a better idea of our design style and what I'm talking about when I mean that these colors work for our modern British colonial home. So the 4 colors are what I call and I don't know if you can still see this even with this close, is a dry sand color. So like a light, very, very light sandy color. A darker, what I would call wet sand color. So now all of these are sheer, and they all have a golden undertone, which I think will look great when the light's on. It'll glow. It works beautifully with the brass column lamp, and I just think it will look beautiful once all is said and done. This is an apricot-y color. Now you can see here that top and bottom edge of this ribbon has a gold band, which hopefully once you see what I'm going to do will help create a beautiful pattern. And this is a very light, beautiful blushy pink color. And again, these colors I think speak well to the environment that we're in here in Florida. I think it'll look fantastic in this room because of the color scheme we have. And this one has 4 more solid stripes down the center, which again, when you see what I'm going to do, I think will create an amazing pattern that will just add to the beauty of the final product, okay? Obviously needles. You need needles because you're going to be stitching the ribbon down at certain points. And I've got thread. So I've got coordinating colors that I think will work with the thread that I have, or the ribbon that I chose. Because, I want the stitches that I put in to disappear, but don't let that be something that stops you either, because you could use the stitching as a design feature. For example, say you had all white ribbon that you use on here and you decided to stitch everything down with red thread. That could be a very beautiful, interesting, creative way to add a little detail to it that, you know, someone might not necessarily think about or see to begin with, but then when they get close to it, they'll notice it. And I love those little surprises like that. So again, you don't have to use 4 colors. You can just use one color you want, different thicknesses. These are all the same width, but I had contemplated using different width ribbons as well to create more interest in pattern and texture, but I ultimately went with this because I got the 4 colors that I wanted. So basically the lesson is the options are endless, right? I've got 2 bulldog clips and I'll show you what I'm going to use those for. And I'm going to do a quick demo of what I'm going to be doing so that you get an idea and you can see how, I mean, this is really actually the hardest part is going to be doing the stitching down at the beginning, at the end, and the end of the ribbon. But other than that, it's just whatever you want, and it's going to be super simple. And ultimately, if I get tired of this color scheme, I could cut this off. That's why I'm not hot glue gunning it down, because I don't want it to be that permanent. But again, you can do it if you want to, but I would suggest glue gunning it or putting the glue on the inside so that when the light's on you don't see, or it doesn't look messy and bleed through the ribbon because it is fabric, right? So do it on the back if you're going to hot glue gun it. But even with the stitching, I would do it, the stitching, I would do the rougher edge on the back, on the inside when I'm stitching down, so you don't have any, you know, edges on the outside, okay? Everything looks as professional and as finished as possible. But this is what I did as my demo. I took this ribbon that I had from a gift, I bulldog clipped it down to the frame, and then I just wrapped. And I decided, oh, you know what? If I got some different colors, I could do a random pattern. That is part of the design. It's super simple, anybody can do. But again, options are endless. You could do it so that you have a beautiful side-to-side, very clean wrap around with the ribbon too, so that it looks very, you know, clean and formal, not abstract like I'm going to do. But I decided to do it abstract because of the ribbon that I'm using, it's sheer, the colors that I'm using, and because in my room I've got a mixture of modern pieces and antique pieces, and the other two lampshades that I have on the lamps are more opaque. I wanted this to be a little bit more transparent, translucent, and I wanted this one to be more modern looking because the other two are very traditional looking. So that is why I'm doing a random wrap, and I'm using the 4 colors. And when the light comes on and illuminates from behind, hopefully that, with all the shadows and overlapping and such, will create even another cool effect. So, like I said, any way you want, as fat or as thin of a space as you like, but to me, I think what makes this project beautiful is the randomness of it all. So I highly suggest trying this. And even if you have a more traditionally styled home, having something that's a little bit more modern in there will add just a surprise element that I think ups the ante in terms of design, the design of your room. So as you can see, I could have just done this with one color and had open spaces and closed spaces like this, and that would be cool too. So gosh, again, the options, endless. So now I'm going to, you're going to see a sped up version of this because I'm going to work through all this ribbon and wrapping. And at the end, like I said, I hope I come up with a beautiful, unmistakably easy and worthwhile project for you to take on in your home. All right? So I will see you at the end. All righty. guys, so this is it, all done. Now, I know the camera is not picking this up as well as it could, so I will provide you some close-up pictures of this with the light off and the light on, but to describe it to you, I have to say it looks fan-frickin-tastic. And in a funny way, it looks both traditional and modern at the same time. I think the sheerness of it, the subtlety of the colors, really adds a lot to it, and the gold banding and the striping on the pink ribbon add a lot of movement to it and a modernity that I really like. And I think when the lights are on, you'll get a better sense of what I'm talking about, and you'll see a little bit more of that abstract patterning that I was going for. And like I said, this puppy has upped the ante for the other two lampshades in here. They're looking quite boring now, in my opinion, and I'm going to have to think of something to make those work on par with this, because now this is the new standard in the room. And it adds, again, some pattern, something different, and when I turn the light on, you'll see even more of what I'm talking about. It looks beautiful with the brass modern mid-century lamp. I'm not going to turn this too bright because I want you to see that it adds enough illumination so that I get extra light in the room and it's not as glaring as it was when there was nothing there. But you can see all the beautiful lines that have come out because of the gold banding, and because all the ribbons have a golden undertone, it kind of glows. So I will provide you pictures again of this with the lights on and off so that you get a better idea of what's going on. But I wanted to point out before I go, the top and bottom, that fabric that was wrapped around the rim really helped add some stability and extra meat for me to kind of sew into. As you saw, I was really trying to get the needle through not only the ribbon, but that fabric as well as the ribbon on the other side, so that I got a really good anchoring of the ribbon at the beginning and at the end. And those seams have disappeared. I can't see really. If I look really closely, I can spot where I stitched, but really they almost disappear completely. And I am loving it. It's looking fantastic. It adds a little texture to the room. And I'm going to provide at the end of this video a link to the reveal video of our renovation, which shows a walkthrough of the house and our interior design of the home, so that you can understand how this really works, not only with our color palette, but with that modern British colonial aesthetic that I keep talking about all the time in my videos. So please watch that. If you like this, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and get your friends to watch as well. And I hope I can get you some more interesting content to watch and projects to do that really take not too much time, money, or effort. This only took about an hour and a half in totality to do. And despite the faces I may have made, it really was not difficult at all. So try it yourself, and I'll see you next time. If you haven't seen our previous videos, click on the links and watch away. Please share, like, and most importantly, subscribe to our channel. We'll do our best to keep you entertained and coming back for more. Bye for now.